Match of the season 1974-75, Halifax Town 3, Preston North End 0, 2nd of November 1974. If George Mulhall had resigned back in September because he was fed up, supporters might have been forgiven his successor. Johnny Quid had done likewise. Town failed to find any sort of consistency and flirted with relegation for too long. Though this was ultimately avoided, supporters must have wondered why relegation was ever an issue, for they knew on their day Halifax Town were more than a match for anybody. This game with Preston was a case in point. At the end of August, under Mulhall, Town had blown away Crystal Palace 3-1 at the Shea. Then, following 11 games without a win, Quinn saw his side tear Southend apart. 3 games on, the players prepared for their visit of Preston, a team expected to give them a rough ride. Having retired from playing in 1973, Manchester United legend Bobby Charlton had gone into management at Deepdale, but his first season had ended in relegation to the 3rd Division. In an attempt to win promotion at the first time of asking, Charlton had decided to put his boots on again, and for a while it looked as if his magic might turn the tables. After only 1 defeat in the first 8 games, Preston had hit the top spot in late September, and just prior to this Shea meeting had gone back to the top, on the back of 3 consecutive wins. Charlton included in his side 2 of his former United teammates, David Sadler and Nobby Stiles. Stiles was a substitute, both of whom had played in the 1968 European Cup triumph over Benfica. But Town were unconcerned. They tore into Preston, and by half-time they had the game as good as won. Mickey Muir had opened the scoring midway through the half, then Ray McHale made it 2-0, blasting the ball past the wall when Dave Gwyfer touched a twice-taken free kick to him. Right on half-time, Gwyfer rode the ball across for unknown Kenny Blair. He would sign for Town the following week from Derby to score his first goal in Town's colours. Though no goals followed after the break, as if they were needed, Town had already done enough to secure the points, but they could not follow up this fine victory with more of the same. As was their wont, they crashed 4-0 at Gillingham in their next match and continued their battle against relegation. For Bobby Charlton, whose previous appearance at the Shea incidentally was in Manchester United's Watney Cup defeat, his Preston side would struggle to come to terms with this setback. They would lose their next 3 matches, and by the season's close they finished a disappointing 6th.